It's been almost a year since our previous Oz month. Now Wicked for Good's on its way now. So November's problem for the IER gang is finding new adaptations to talk about. Like maybe there's a whole bunch in space. There's the one with the Muppets that no one really wants to watch again. We could pitch some new ones that don't even exist. Or maybe Twisters counts if we squint. The Tin Man's backstory ended in tragedy. Or Dorothy's all grown up now and a dictator? What? There's more Maguire books and Once Upon a Time. Absolutely fucking not, but no! As you can see, there's a whole lot of Oz to see before it's time for Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb have actually been to Oz. Odd. So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb have actually been to Odd. Mom! Phineas and Ferb are being featured on an E-Tree-telling. Welcome to An E-Tree-telling, the podcast where we explore all the ways old tales are made new. I'm your host, Jasmine Garcia. And welcome once again. We are back to Somewhere Over the Rainbow for Oz Month for Good. Joining me today are...
River Lane, and hey Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. Let's go retell some public domain stories!
Yeah! Gillian quickly, and the urge to relate to Candace Flynn grows more and more.
Does it?
It has.
I mean, if you're talking about people who actually deserve it, sure.
But also, hey, oldest daughter who relates to Candace, hey-oh!
I mean, yes, I understand that very much so, but I will get into it, but it's just like, Candace, it is high time you got your Jeanie Bueller arc. But anyway.
Okay.
But yes, and dear listeners, honestly, I'm shocked it took us this long, considering the brand of people I have amongst my friends, but today we are going to be talking about a Phineas and Ferb episode, specifically Season 2, Episode 26, The Wizard of Odd.
Greetings, I am IER60, Star Wars Retelling Connections. Point of intersection found. This is a degree 3. D. Bradley Baker, Corey Burden, and Kari Waldgren all had multiple voice roles across the Star Wars franchise. For further detail, check out ineatretelling.tumblr.com/sibling blogs.
I totally didn't spend all of last Oz month yelling at you to cover this or something.
I'm going to be inserting a little clip that proves that wrong.
Let me talk about the Wizard of Odd. Let me talk about the Wizard of Odd.
Someday, I promise you all, someday.
Let me talk about the Yellow Sidewalk.
The way I see it, considering this has kind of become a cultural juggernaut amongst Disney fans, along with talking about our connections to the Wizard of Oz as usual, of course, we are going to talk a little bit about our connections to Phineas and Ferb.
But my relation to Wizard of Oz, as stated last year, is that I saw the OG movie in college as part of a film class because my first year film teacher was like, yeah, I'm going to use this movie that you all have definitely seen as like a barometric for like the first couple of classes. And then I was like, oh fuck, I hadn't seen this yet. So I watched it one afternoon in my friend's dorm, and then I got subjected to Return to Oz last year, and so I still haven't read the books, which I think I'm better off for. Oz is not quite my brand of silliness.
Ahem. You have seen a certain other Wizard of Oz since then, of course.
Yes, I've seen the first half of Wicked after the theater nerds TM and my friend subconscious basically said, yeah, you're good. It's good. Go see it. And I said, all right. And then I turned out 30 pages of a screenplay because Jonathan Bailey bewitched me body and soul. Anyway, in regards to Phineas and Ferb, I was the demographic. I was peak demographic for Phineas and Ferb when it first came out on Disney Channel in 2007. I was in the 2nd grade. I saw it as attached to the High School Musical 2 premiere. Or rather, when it was taped, because I had to tape High School Musical 2 because High School Musical 2 came out in August and I was at summer camp at the time. Point still stands.
Listen to our The Straights Aren't All Right episode on High School Musical 2 for more details.
Yeah, thank you for your shameless plug of my podcast. But, like, Phineas and Ferb was basically around from the time that I was in elementary school to like, I think it ended the week of my 14th birthday. Like, it has just been this juggernaut and this, like, thing throughout all of my childhood. Like, when Disney World did the switchover Epcot World Showcase, like, find event from Kim Possible to Perry the Platypus, I was there. And so, like, I fucking love this show. There are several songs that have joined my oeuvre. And there are just, like, several songs that have joined my family's in-joke. Like, It's Tradition, Carl, Get O'er It. Phineas and Ferb, My Beloved. It is Tism the show. Like I said in the 6 Degrees of Star Wars episode about the Star Wars special, this is Tism the show. Milo Murphy's Law is ADHD the show, and their crossover episode is ADHD the show. To insert the Junji Ito comic, this hole was made for me! The secret to the formula is that every episode there is just something subtly enough changed that it never feels like completely bog standard. Like, yes, you know the basic premise. You know that Perry is going to fight Doofenshmirtz. You know the boys are going to build a thing. You know that Candace is going to try and catch them in building that thing, and you know their mom is not going to believe them. How each one of those points gets reached is where the fun is.
The 39 movie was on semi-regularly. I remember it being on in the living room a good bit as a kid. I remember catching it from, I think I might have had a slight fear of the Wicked Witch of the West, because it seems to be a rite of passage. I remember watching from, like, an upper balcony when company was over and the movie was on. It was a nice little bonding experience. I was exposed to Wicked in the 3rd grade. Hell yeah.
Another peak time to get into Wicked.
Yes!
Yes. Basically ages 8 to 15. That is the sweet spot, baby.
I've not read most of the Oz books, but okay, I've only read the first Oz book, but I'm aware of the others and shit that happens in certain characters and subtext and not so subtle gay subtext. Hell yeah. Phineas and Ferb. I was also born in 2000, so I did catch it on the tail end of High School Musical 2, and I was hooked until, I think I don't remember when I fell off, but I think I fell off around the time I stopped watching Disney Channel, and unfortunately, I was like, this is very formulaic, and why am I watching it the same, if it's going to be the same thing? And that should have been a sign that I had ADHD, but also, well, ADD, but not same diff. Same church, different pew.
But also, like, around the time everyone fell off in the 4th season is when they started, like, actually pushing the boundaries of what their formula could do. Like, watching the 4th season is so fascinating because there is a lot of, like, pushing that back. Like, they really try and push how close they can get the Doofenshmirtz plot and the invention plot together without crossing over, which they've continued into the 5th season, which if you haven't watched the 5th season, you should be watching the 5th season. It's very good.
I'm recording a podcast right now, so.
Well, after this, gun.
Okay.
River, you have got to stop threatening my podcast guests. Anyway, as for me.
So, first off, most of you are my brother's age, which is a good send-off to how I got into Phineas and Ferb. I was 15, but I did watch many an episode with my brother John, who often tried to do his own Doofenshmirtz impression, particularly about a platypus. Patty the platypus! It was adorable. He probably doesn't remember this, and will probably be a little annoyed I called it adorable, but in fairness, he was a cute little kid. But no, I have a great fondness for this show, and I remember talking to, like, one of my college friends, just like, this feels like one of the shows from, like, the 90s, like, in tone. Like, it feels a little Animaniacs coded. It's just like, and, you know, one of my friends was like, well, I mean, they've been trying to make it since we were kids, so that's probably why.
It does feel very Animaniacs coded. I was also, I think around that time, I did get into an Animaniacs rabbit hole, so.
As is right and proper. But, yeah, if you've been listening for a long time, you know my feelings on The Wizard of Oz. I love it. I've always loved it.
Dorothy Gale, the bright young lady you are.
And I love seeing people be like, okay, but how does she turn out as she gets older? Which is probably partially the Chronicles of Narnia's fault. And Wicked made like 25% of my personality at least. So, of course, we are doing yet another Oz month for part 2/for good. So yeah, Phineas and Ferb trying to wash a house?
Well, they can't give it a bath. The city's using it as a reservoir. Which, by the way, why is that bathtub in the middle of the street? Guys?
It's Danville. What do you expect?
Danville has a dam! The Danville Dam is one of Doofenshmirtz's, like, early season plots.
But yes, because they are giving the house a shower, that is how the whole tornado thing happens in this version.
Yeah, and this is probably where this is clearly mostly an homage to the 39 film really shines. Like, we even get, like, the cross-fading of the different Candace stages that she passes out.
Girls whisper to me. The zebra even shows up! I have a small note where it's like, is the waterproof underwear kind of foreshadowing? Because with the shoes being the rain boots, they're waterproof.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I do love Linda calling Phineas and Ferb's constant schemes mystery crimes. Cannot convince me that Linda doesn't know at least a little bit. Because, like, first of all, Candace makes this crack about, like, I hope there's not going to be a lot of singing in this thing. Candace, you and your brothers both play multiple instruments. Clearly, both of your extracurricular schedules are very well maintained. Linda has to know that her boys are into engineering. So I feel like there is some part of her that knows, yes, this is entirely possible that my children have built a roller coaster in our backyard.
And Linda was a one-hit wonder, so...
Exactly!
She's Lindana, and I wanna... You loved her in the 80s. Get ready to love her again. Lindana's mega hit, I'm Lindana and I Wanna Have Fun, has been remixed and retranslated into your favorite languages. Portuguese, Dutch, Canadian, Japanese, Esperanto, Pig Latin, dog, and everyone's favorite...
Hey, Mom, what you watching?
No, nothing.
And then they turn their dad into a one-hit wonder, which is very funny. I love Alien Heart.
Yes, and they got together because of their favorite hair metal band.
And not to mention, we know that their dad loves a musical.
True.
Well, this isn't much of a horror movie. Where are the rock and roll musical numbers?
Give a house a shout. Don't be surprised when you get knocked upside the head and end up in a fantasy Oz controlled partially by your brothers behind the scenes. As an elaborate metaphor to maybe get over yourself and enjoy life as a 16-year-old.
What a concept. Imagine not being overly obsessed with what your baby brothers are doing.
And also, clearly, her whole idea is that if I follow directions and follow the rules, then we will be fine.
Tism.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, and severe anxiety as a result. Yes. And that is what kind of screws her over throughout this whole dream. And that's why I compared her to Jeanie Bueller before we got into this, because Jeanie Bueller's whole arc in Ferris Bueller's Day Off is that she's so obsessed with her brother getting away with stuff. It's just like, why does he get to get away with it and all of us don't? And Charlie Sheen, God, I can't believe there is a movie out there where listening to Charlie Sheen is a good idea. But he's just like, okay, but why do you care? Have you ever actually tried getting away with stuff?
What do you care if your brother ditches school?
Why should he get to ditch when everybody else has to go?
You could ditch.
Yeah, I'd get caught.
So you're pissed off because he ditches and doesn't get caught, is that it?
Basically.
Basically. And your problem is you.
Excuse me?
Excuse you. You ought to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does.
I guess it is kind of the same exact arc in this episode. Crazy.
Yeah, I do love all of the alternate sidewalks. They're all very funny. But most importantly...
So my theory about the log pileup in the dream is because it happened because of the giant tub that is being used as the reservoir in the middle of Danville.
You know what?
Why not? And it's worth pointing out, there is technically a red canonical sidewalk in The Wizard of Oz, and apparently, at least in one of the books, they explain that one. So that's kind of neat.
Wild. I appreciate all the fourth wall gags. Love me a good fourth wall gag.
That's like 30% of the show. You're gonna have to be more specific.
I bet my brothers are behind this. Rolls down the back banner. Hi, Candace.
They are literally behind it, and we love a matte painting. So
we love a matte painting. Exactly.
We do.
And I guess we should pay attention to the young men behind the curtain.
I don't understand the I have saliva gag, but it's very good.
Random non sequitur is funny.
True.
It is a dream, so...
Yeah.
The Patchkins thing was clever, I have to say.
They're very good.
Nice way to dodge the awkward connotations of the term munchkins, while still making it relevant to the characters who are playing them.
I love that Susie is the Wicked Witch of the East here.
As Candace would intend.
I mean, this dream does imply that she's at least somewhat aware of Perry's shenaniganery.
Well,
She's also vaguely aware of Perry's shenaniganery other episodes, I think. I'm pulling up the wiki.
No, so none of the Flynn Flesher family knows about Perry's shenaniganery outside of Second Dimension, where they all have their minds wiped. Stacy knows.
Now wait just a TikTok. What?
Yeah, that's a 4th season development. Stacy finds out and, like, her and Perry hang out. It's very funny. One of the episodes in season 5 is Perry and Stacy having to cover for one another at, like, a fancy event that both Candace and Doof are at. It's so good.
That's cute. That's cute.
Stacy and Perry are a bizarrely good friendship. I love them a lot.
I read the wiki trivia again. So Candace knows, but only in dreams or bad drug trips.
Yes.
So her subconscious is trying to tell her something interesting.
Also, like, one of the things I was thinking about is, like, why isn't Stacy a companion? And then I thought about it for 2 seconds longer, and say nothing about the gender of it all. Stacy has a brain cell. Like, Stacy is Candace's brain cell every time the two of them are together. So, like, it makes perfect sense that, like, Stacy would be the one dragging Candace into the fun, because that's Stacy's job. Within the narrative, is she is both the brain cell and the one to be like, yeah, let's see what your brothers are doing.
And I can absolutely see Stacy being like, if you are going to take away my chance to ride a unicorn, I will never forgive you.
Yeah, no, real. My question about the unicorn is, when did Phineas and Ferb become genetic engineers?
It's a dream.
It's a dream. It's all happening in a dream.
They could be genetic engineers.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Aren't they a little young to be genetic engineers?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Jinx!
All right, carry on, and also I want a unicorn.
I love the flying aviator squirrels that eventually gives way to a squirrels in my pants joke.
I was waiting for it.
Squirrels! Squirrels!
And I love that they established that they're not that fast. So, and the alternate ways to get to Bustopolis are objectively faster, or possibly faster. So
it's certainly more fun and safer.
Yeah, but depends on how bouncy the bouncy one is. It's a dream. The ice cream's not gonna melt, or the non-dairy free ice cream.
Yeah, because Candace is canonically lactose intolerant, which is a very fun gag they keep remembering.
And also, that's right, if she is lactose intolerant, that's even better that they did that for her. Candace, you ingrate!
Exactly.
They are trying to account for your allergy.
She has 2 canonical allergies. She's lactose intolerant and she's allergic to parsnip.
I would also argue she's allergic to fun, as is the whole point of this episode.
Well, yes, but in the way that, like, older siblings who parentify themselves.
Oh no, she's just like me for real. Derogatory.
I do not believe that, like, Linda and I forget their dad's name for a second. I don't believe that they parentified Candace. She did this to herself. I am going to get responsibility, so help me God. Literally the first episode of Phineas and Ferb is like, am I in charge? What if a satellite crashes? What if there's a herd of moose running through the house? Or what if a satellite crashes into the house? Then you're in charge. I'm in charge, conditionally.
Yeah, again, girl has massive anxiety. Someone please get this girl a Xanax.
Or 3.
An avalanche of Xanax.
It's not a party, it's an intimate get-together. Candace party.
Candace party.
God. But no, River, would you like to talk more about the Yellow Sidewalk, since that's what you constantly referenced whenever you tried to pitch this episode for this show?
Well, listen to this. You where you want to go. Just take that yellow sidewalk.
Of course I'd love to talk about the Yellow Sidewalk. First of all, the number fucking bops. I love when Isabella gets a number. Isabella's numbers tend to be a lot of fun, and they get to, like, bop. It's great. It's fantastic.
It's certainly less annoying than Follow the Yellow Brick Road, I will acknowledge that.
Listen! I was, like, standing around in my house, like, preparing for get ready for the day, and I was humming to myself Yellow Sidewalk, and I was doing the whole, like,
the yellow one, not the one that's for jumper. And don't you take that purple one, it's covered with lumber. What? A loud truck overturned last Tuesday, take the yellow sidewalk.
Nothing to see here, move along.
Like, that's just a good line. That's just a good lyric, man.
Yeah, I reason why I didn't latch onto my brain is because, unlike you, I did not see this as a child.
It's also one of the only songs in this episode that gets to finish. Every other musical number gets cut off.
Yeah, no, now that you've reminded me that Candace does very often sing on this show, it's a little weird that she keeps cutting off the musical numbers.
She's on a mission! She wants to get to Bustopolis! She's on a schedule!
She has a routine!
But my routine! We gotta tell Grady about this.
And if you want to know what that reference was, dear listener who's new to the show, please go listen to our episode on the 2013 Great Gatsby.
Yep, Tree-Related Wish is a very dumb song.
Well, girls like a little mystery.
I've never understood Jeremy's appeal, but that's,
He's a himbo. I think he called. Well, no, actually, he's not muscular enough for himbo.
And he's not,
nice.
That's just a decent man.
Somebody the time. He's nice, and he's gives
not
somebody
dumb.
the time of day.
He's not dumb either. He's very aware of Candace's It was like one of the things you learn once they actually start dating is he's very aware of Candace's idiosyncrasies. Like the episode where she tries to like change herself, he is like rejecting that immediately. He's like, "No, give me my girlfriend back, you fool." Like he loves her because she's insane. They are freak for freak.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Also, we got to talk about Baljeet's number, of course.
The nerd crow.
Baljeet is trying so hard. He tries so hard all of the time.
I do love Baljeet a lot as a character.
Yes, he is a stereotype, but goddammit, he's very endearing.
Like, very often, the show is laughing with him rather than at him. Like, if we're laughing at him, we're laughing at Buford for doing something. We're usually laughing at Baljeet. Like, Baljeet's nerdiness and, like, ability to do math is usually something that is, like, useful to the episode. Like, the episode where they're doing the maze, and they're trying to figure out how many jelly beans are in a jar, and each one of them starts doing the math for it, and Buford just opens the can, chugs it, and is like, 0.
Work smarter, not harder. And that is also why Baljeet and Buford are compatible.
Because they're frenemies, they like disliking one another.
It does get more and more endearing the longer the show goes. I do agree with that.
It's very much like, like in the early episodes, it's very more bully and nerd coded. And then as the show goes on, and I don't think the writers knew how much they were going to endear Buford to the audience. And then they're like, oh shit, this is actually a fun character to write. And then so they just sort of drifted the dynamic, so it's now just like the same bullying you would do to your friends when you know your friends' interests. I think about the season 5 audio that's getting popular on Instagram now, where he's like, they're going to collide! Do you know what that is? Yeah, sure. It's like when you leave keys in the car so the drive's there. No! They're boyfriends, Your Honor.
Probably.
And in a Just World, that flash forward episode would have canonized that.
Truly. Monkey spider? Terrifying.
Spider monkey. Kind of cute.
Terrifying.
A little bit.
Kind of endearing.
It is a freaky idea, yes.
It's freaky, yes, but also very well designed.
Yes, truly. Doofenshmirtz, I can't help but feel that there are multiple steps between unwilling removal of boots and disintegration.
He's a mad scientist. Are we really surprised?
Can we get back to talking about Doofenshmirtz gender dysphoria that
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
I mean, Doofenshmirtz was canonically, dressed as a girl for part of his childhood, and was also a garden gnome and raised by ocelots. So, I don't think Doofenshmirtz fully identifies as a person some days.
Oh, no.
That's part of the reason you get the Alka Files episode when Doofenshmirtz tries to go good the first time, is because he's like, yeah, I was raised legally by ocelots. I'm an animal, which is why I'm qualified to work for Alka.
God. What an insane character he is.
Fucking insane. The most character ever.
I was gonna say, one of the characters of all time. Wait, back to Buford for a second. Now, post his somewhat redemption, I love that they keep adding more facets to him about, here's an interest that you didn't know that he'd have.
And yet, in this episode, his whole thing is that he doesn't really want anything.
But he does accept a ham sandwich.
He does accept a ham sandwich. And I do kind of love how he gets all shiny and anime eyes when it looks like he's going to start a song.
But I am reminded of a song. I want nothing.
Well, at least it was short.
Plus, like, the idea of a lion, tiger, bear is just a weird creature. Good creature.
It's a fun yes and to the movie's whole lions and tigers and bears deal.
Oh my.
Yes. Buford is easily bribed.
But we knew this. But no, literally every single path that Phineas and Ferb came up with, I was like, excuse me, this just sounds like a very good Oz theme park. Let's go!
Speaking of Oz theme park, I didn't mention this in the intro, but I'm like half an hour out from Land of Oz.
Really?
Yeah, which is not, contrary to popular belief, is not a dead theme park. It opens, it is seasonal, but only for like 1 week in September.
Oh, I actually didn't know it because we mentioned that in the Return to Oz episode. I didn't realize it wasn't fully abandoned. Oh, that's nice.
It's at the old abandoned amusement park on the next hill.
As opposed to the other old abandoned.
Well, damn it. I mean, if they ever reopen it, like, if you ever want to do, like, a little bonus thing there, please do.
Field trip! Hey!
Yeah,
please,
no, honestly,
let this be a normal field trip.
With the frizz? No way!
No way! With the droid as well. No way.
Yeah.
But no, I have always kind of wanted to do a travel segment with this. I mean, I literally live right by
Both Disney World and Universal Studios, so like...
It would be very easy for me to make that happen, but first, dear listeners, you need to donate to my Patreon so I can conceivably maybe only work part-time.
Please! But yeah,
Anyway.
like, I think this is one of the first, but it's not the first. Like, let's technically break the formula and do a one-off. They get a bit more frequent as the seasons go on.
Well, yeah, otherwise they're gonna get bored.
Yeah, like, you've got the Indiana Jones pastiche in season 3 or 4. Technically, the next episode after this is The Beak, which is basically one long Spider-Man joke. Is it Spider-Man or is it Superman or is it yes? I think
yes.
it's technically yes.
Let's face it, same character, different font, and you know it.
Yeah, but Isabella is a reporter in that one, so that's fun.
Adorable. Very in character.
But no, like, it makes sense that they would go for this with that, because, you know, okay, let's just do a Wizard of Oz parody episode is not unheard of in cartoons. Like, we did have a couple of options in the poll here but of course the Phineas and Ferb episode was going to win. Who am I kidding?
Of course the Phineas and Ferb episode was going to win. Do you even know who your friends are?
The design of, I keep saying Oz, but it's odd because, you know, parody. But
Parody.
I do love the design here.
I do love that
like
Bustopolis is like a 50s style New Future. Like, it looks like a Tomorrowland design.
Looks like
Very much so.
kind of Jetsons, kind of.
A little bit Jetsons.
A little bit Jetsons. But in
That's why I
fairness,
said
I think most retro future stuff looks like Jetsons.
That's also why I said kind of, like a tad.
Yeah.
Podcasts are infamously a visual medium. I am just pinching my fingers ever so slightly to explain it.
Like, it is kind of like you took Oz and mashed it together with Disneyland a little bit.
It's everything they've ever built in one location. Also, the slide to get to the top versus the 7,500 steps. Yeah, 7,500 steps. I did count.
Candace.
Like, honey, I am all for getting your steps in, but the self-sabotage is real.
Leg day is inescapable, even in dreams.
It's a time. It's very much a time.
We should talk more about the Doofenwitch. I'm sorry, Warlock.
Doofenwarlock. Warlock. I love the guards. I love the guards' song. I wish they got to finish it.
I like the guard that's always in the wrong costume. And Rule of Three always works.
It always works.
Yes, it does.
He's the only one doing the work.
As per usual. It's usually the animal sidekick doing all the work. Talk about Beast of Burden.
Elphaba would liberate the shit out of him.
Speaking of Beast of Burden, Perry.
God, Perry, what would we do without him?
He's a
Front
real one.
door looks good. Back door looks good. Platypus outside my window looks good. Platypus outside my window!
Speaking of queer coding.
God.
Perry Schwartz is out there.
Oh, I know it is.
I've been on Tumblr. I know it is.
I've been on TikTok. Okay. Love that Candace got a Star Wars joke in.
That is true.
He does look a little short.
I fucking love these little weirdos. They're so good and important.
It's very, very silly. Also, I do appreciate that Susie does not, in fact, die, because of course they gotta not make that happen. This is a kid's show.
Now my feet are cold.
She's not gonna die. She's just stuck in a very confined space for God knows how much time. But
can someone get a Jack?
Also, it is worth pointing out that this all started because Linda decided, you know what, I'm going to give my teenage daughter a copy of The Wizard of Oz.
I mean, Candace does know how to read. She read the entirety of the Sherlock Holmes series overnight.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like her pointing out that isn't this basically for babies? And I'm like, okay, not quite for babies, but yes, it's a little below your reading level.
Mrs. Ducky Momo Stan. Okay.
You know, that's so true, though. She has no room to talk.
Ducky Mo, Ducky Momo. Ducky Momo.
Oh god, this is a fever dream of an episode so far.
I mean, it's about what I expected. Like I said, it's a 24-minute episode, and there isn't, it's a good 24-minute episode. It's good parody. There's only so much you can, pick apart before you're just, riffing.
Understandable. I understand that. But it's still very funny.
I love that instead of melting, that the clothes shrink.
Listen, I'm just grateful we don't get kind of melting we got in Muppet Wizard of Oz. Oh, do you not know?
Oh, yeah.
I may not.
They skitified Piggy.
Oh.
And then she's nothing but neck and hair. It's genuinely kind of the most horrifying thing I've ever seen happen to a Muppet.
We will talk about how that ended up traumatizing us one day.
Yes.
Because to tie back into the episode, and I put this in the chat, the wiki says that okay, never mind. Because he says, but I'm gonna go change it to a tracksuit. I'm like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah, so for those of you dear listeners who do not know because your brain hasn't been rotted by Wicked for half your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I dated myself's final night. She came out because after she had damaged her rib going through the trapdoor near the end of Act 2. So she came out final night in a red tracksuit, no makeup. It was iconic. The wiki says it is a reference to that, but I'm like, it's a pink tracksuit.
It's funnier if it's pink, though.
I mean, yes, it goes back to Doofenshmirtz's gender dysphoria.
It's true. But no, that is a very, very fun little reference that was specifically, again, for people whose brains have been rotted by Wicked.
This is your brain on Wicked.
Half of it is green, half of it is pink, and it's entirely filled with musical numbers and Gelfie fan art.
Any questions?
Doofenshmirtz, of course, getting the snot beat out of him by a platypus. It's never not going to be funny.
Real. Except for the one time he got his snot beat out of him by a teenage girl.
Also, that teenage girl did have the brain of a platypus, so...
Exactly.
It's true, so that counts. But no, honestly, Perry is holding back, because if he's anything like real platypi, they do have poison spikes on their thumbs.
Only the females do.
Oh, true. That is true. See, the reason I know this is because, long story short, back in my writer's workshop...
Back when I was in high school.
At one point, it was somebody's birthday, so they got to pick a prompt for everybody to follow for the writer's workshop, and they picked Platypus Court, so we all had to write about a platypus being in court.
So, friend of the show and my best friend for 20 years, Beth,
wrote something about how a platypus did not know they had a poison spike on their thumb, and it's just like, I did not know that. Apparently my brother still remembers that.
Love that.
So there's
a platypus blubber? Bury the platypus
God.
I was like, Doofenshmirtz has face blindness change.
Listen, it's like that one TikToker pointed out. It's like, Doofenshmirtz is the perfect example of how to not be a fucking racist.
I mean, there are multiple platypi in the tri-state area.
They're just deeply funny. But even better, he does not judge all platypi. He only judges his platypus.
I am an Emma.
Yeah, my nemesis. And now you're doing battles with a panda from Seattle.
What a ridiculous show.
Correct.
Speaking of, I do like that Linda was the wizard. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Correct. Linda is the best TV mom. Changed my mind.
She's up there. Because we first watched this all together for like a Phineas and Ferb marathon we did on the server, and I do remember when I first watched it, I was like, okay, I actually really appreciate the moral of this episode a lot more than I appreciate the moral of The Wizard of Oz, at least the 39 version.
Yeah. The idea that, you gotta have a little fun along the way.
You don't have to make this harder on yourself, Candace. You win no points for making it harder on yourself.
Sometimes rules are the mind killer.
But if you put effort into something, that means you're proving something.
Yeah, and as an eldest daughter who was a goody two-shoes at school, I unfortunately very much
understand where that instinct comes from. I definitely was that kid.
But the that's the thing. I needed to learn that no, you don't always get rewarded for effort. Sometimes you are going to get more rewarded for making it easier on yourself and actually letting yourself enjoy things. God damn it. Life is too damn short.
Sometimes you just gotta skate by. Sometimes you take the easier science class because you simply don't want to take another AP exam, even though your teacher is like, hey man, why the fuck are you here? You're clearly smarter than this. And I'm like, but I didn't want to take an AP exam.
But what if you had one more science credit that transferred over?
No, because I didn't need it.
But the only, what if you had a physics credit that transferred over and you needed one more class and in college you needed the second thing?
Okay, Gillian, are we good?
We're good, it's fine. I did say in my intro that I did not expect for this to turn into a call-out post, but also,
hey,
we out
like,
here.
Yeah, this whole episode is a call-out post to us, I understand.
It's like, you know the meme about autistic people, some person who's 1% more autistic than you. That is the exact...
That is the dynamic.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Autism hostility.
Oof, real. It's what nerfs the community.
Yeah.
Real.
Infighting. Shame.
But no, and just the spiral that she's going into as she realizes she did this all wrong, and now the dream is ending. It's just like, oh, I wasted a dream! The good news is she does get a second chance where it counts in the real world.
She
gets to have fun with her brothers and their friends.
And Jeremy's there, too!
And Jeremy is there! So it's like, yeah.
Jeremy is not immune to the shenanigans. Really underselling. No. Cannot overstate that.
Yeah, no, Jeremy is down to clown, and we kind of love him for that.
Correct.
Better than taking the sidewalk.
Better than taking the sidewalk.
Hell yeah. But yeah, this is a very cute little Wizard of Oz parody.
It's a little by the numbers, but within the constraints of the show that it's working with, which I think is kind of the best way to do parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very economic in the storytelling. It doesn't go completely beat by beat. Like, the misnamed pit, I guess, could be the Poppy sequence, because it's pillows. They both...
You do sleep on them, that is true. But yeah,
And it is a dream, so you can't sleep in a dream. I'm being very facetious here.
Tell that to Christopher Nolan, I guess. That's the fun of these kinds of episodes, and also kind of the fun of fusion AUs.
Yeah.
It's just sure, we're gonna combine the best of both of these things.
That's why I love a good fusion AU. Yes, give me the running gags and silly, goofy times of Phineas and Ferb with the whimsy and magic of Oz.
Perfect little episode of television.
It is a solid episode of Phineas and Ferb on its own, and it's a solid parody of a story I love very dearly. And again, I do actually think that the character arc is a little bit better than what Dorothy goes through in the 39 movie. Because as we've said, we question
the whole "there's no place like home" message these days.
We do indeed.
So why does, we'll start with, why does Phineas and Ferb endure?
Tism.
Shenanigans.
Tism, shenanigans, and catchy ass bops. Do you know what an aglet is without Phineas and Ferb?
True. I was going to say, finally, the three genders.
I can tell you, yes, I do, but that's only because it was also referenced in an episode of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, coincidentally by Ashley Tisdale's character. I feel like that had to have been on purpose to a certain degree.
A-G-L-E-T.
We're gonna tell the world together, one word at a time.
Like how in the High School Musical episode, Maddie was pissed that she didn't get to play Sharpay because she looks like Ashley Tisdale.
And nobody saw it, which is deeply funny.
And then they ended up doing a Singing in the Rain gag.
Yeah.
Oh, Disney Channel. But yeah, as of this recording, we have had a season 5 after years of that show being over. So clearly it is indeed enduring. And it is also just a deeply memeable show.
If I had a nickel for every time y'all made a 2 nickels joke,
we'd have so many nickels.
Too many nickels.
I might be able to pay off my student loans.
Let's not get too carried away.
No, you're right. But yeah, it's just a fun, memeable little show that celebrates creativity and understanding that fun doesn't last forever, so you gotta make the most of what you have.
And you don't have to build a
roller coaster.
Just find your own way to make the most of these days of summer. And dance to the beat of a different drummer. Just grab those opportunities when you see them. 'cause every day's a brand new day. You gotta carpe diem.
And why does Wizard of Oz endure?
Sometimes you just want to go home, and that's
Vibes.
I know the vibes. Also,
Vibes and aesthetic. And it was all a dream. Sometimes Alice is too obvious.
And, this episode kind of proves, there's a lot of iconic beat in that. There's a lot of memorable characters that you can toy with. And I think we've all kind of felt like we didn't have the brains, heart, noive, or really had a place to call home.
or the King of the Forest, which I didn't say this in I have more Oz history. In 6th grade, I did, my chorus class, they did a Wizard of Oz concert, which was very fun. Me and 2 other soloists, we did, a couple, we had, the big ones, me and 2 other people, we did If I Were King of the Forest. It was fun. It was, it was nice seeing, 2 other, guys who wouldn't be into it kind of queening out as much as you can in an environment.
Yeah, no, that is a gay ass song.
Queening out in a Christian school as much as you can, or not realizing that you're queening out.
Yes,
very gay ass song.
Yeah, no, he's lisping out throughout the whole thing.
What a man.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, no, I did a couple of Wizard of Oz stuff for choir as well, including Ding Dong the Witch is Dead, and I don't remember if I brought this up in the Wicked episode, so we're going to play it safe. We got to sing Popular and For Good as a medley before the show officially started, because my 6th grade music teacher was friends with one of the producers. I have a theory it's Mark Platt, but I can't prove it.
Sweet.
Popular. Lar.
I went to a bougie-ass high school. No wonder I didn't feel like I fit in.
Yeah, no, I fucking standard ass American ass high school.
Where the fuck was my Wizard of Oz arc? That's all I want to know. Real.
Anyway, if you didn't get into Wicked between the ages of 8 and 15, can I interest you in some comic books? Can I interest you in the show?
Final thoughts?
Solid.
Just take the yellow sidewalk.
Unfortunately, no yellow sidewalks near me. Instructions unclear.
As long as it isn't covered in lumber.
I wound up on the sidewalk that had a bunch of lumber on it, and now I'm in a Final Destination.
Who has stuff to plug?
I am Cutie Peppy Fire at most of the socials. So, short, sweet, to the point.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Dreams Rebel. You can find me on my own website at blog.filmland.online. I am also the host of The Straights Aren't All Right, a podcast where I gather a bunch of queers together, make them watch straight rom-coms, and try to answer the question, are the straights okay? Our latest episode went up as of recording yesterday, or today, technically, at the very early hours of the morning, because I'm bad at editing. But also, September got away from me. So you can go listen to that wherever your pods are cast.
And for this week's Heroes Call to Action, we are speaking on behalf of our dear friend Katie. There is a family center that she has been volunteering with, and they could really use a lot of help, especially in light of the current SNAP benefits snafu going on. The Lodi Family Center, based in Ohio, offers a variety of programs and services that meet the needs of families through pantry, youth, and parenting activities. According to Katie's friend from the center, they have a clothing closet, and they could really use things like sweats, jeans, and shirts and sweatshirts that would be good for teenagers, and also food boxes for the holidays coming up. Any way you could contribute would be helpful. There will be a link below to give you some more information. You can always find me at Faye Revere on basically any social media website you could find. And you can follow this podcast at IR Podcast on Twitter and Blue Sky, and AnitRetellingPodcast.tumblr.com on Tumblr. If you'd like to help us reach the next chapter of our story, please consider rating us or reviewing us or commenting on the podcatcher of your choice. And if there's room in your wallets, please consider donating to our Patreon, our Ko-Fi page, or the Support the Show link below. We do have some perks that go along with it, and it also would just really help us hopefully make this podcast a little better, allow us to maybe even post more frequently. But even just having you listen to us talk about these stories means the world to us. And much like the stories we talk about, telling your friends and family about us helps us continue on. And speaking of the next chapter of our story, Oz Month may have come a little late, but next time, by the end of this week, we will be talking about the Wizard of Oz's backstory through Disney's Oz the Great and Powerful. I suppose I have to dread at least one of these every year. We hope you will join us all the same, and remember, stories gain power in each retelling.
So if you really